The YSL RICO case has officially started today. The judge outlined all of the current charges against Young Thug and is now handpicking the jury. Out of 65 total charges that YSL is facing, Kingpin Young Thug is being charged with 8 counts and is currently looking at serving life in prison. The 8 charges Young Thug is currently facing is conspiracy to violate the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act, otherwise known as the RICO Act, 1 charge of participation in criminal street activity, 1 count of possession of narcotics with intent to distribute, possession of a special type of drink with intent to distribute, possession of more narcotics, possession of a firearm charge, as well as 1 charge of possession of switches for firearms. These charges have now been confirmed as YSL members snitched out Young Thug and gave out all of the information and evidence the feds needed to basically sentence him to prison soon. And it also cannot be a coincidence that right after Gunna snitched on Young Thug, the trial is just now starting to begin. On December 14th, YSL rapper Gunna accepted his plea deal inside of the courtroom. In this plea deal, Gunna admitted that YSL is a street team that commits crimes as shared during the court hearing.
You agree or acknowledge that statements are true, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I became affiliated with YSL around 2016. Is that true as it pertains to you, Mr. Kitchens?
Yes, ma'am.
YSL is a music label and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance.
Yes, ma'am.
You were present when law enforcement officers stopped a vehicle in which you were present along with Jeffrey Williams, wherein hydrocarbons and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you acknowledge the following statement? I recognize, accept, and deeply regret that my talent and music indirectly furthered YSL to the detriment of my community. YSL again. Is that your statement or acknowledgement?
Yes.
If you're a fan of Young Thug, leave a like on the video. I'm curious how many fans are watching today. Now, once that court footage was leaked online, the entire rap world just went crazy. As the YSL trial is starting to begin very soon, many were wondering why Gunna would snitch on Young Thug so close to the trial date. As we even saw Boosie tweet within minutes saying, and I quote, "Rat. This would have put tears in my eyes. My brother, my artist, like what? I am fighting for my life that I am not running a street team and you do this to Big Dog? Now you already know it's a street team. If the firearms and narcotics aren't yours as well, then whose else was in the car with you?" In case you're confused from that tweet, allegedly one of the charges against Gunna and Young Thug were for narcotics and firearms found inside of a vehicle that both of them were driving in. Well, Gunna, in the courtroom accepting his plea deal, told the judge that those items were not his. Then obviously, if it's not his, it would all land onto YSL Kingpin Young Thug. As Boosie then tweeted again, he has 1 charge. He wasn't gonna get no hard time. These lawyers don't care about your legacy. They know what they're doing to your name, but they are also getting you out of jail. So their name blows up and you just gotta pay them more when you're free, and they made you cooperate. Now, Young Thug's reaction to Gunna snitching is something no Young Thug fan would ever want to see, as Young Thug had no idea the Gunna plea deal was even going down, as while Gunna was snitching in the video clip, the courtroom was practically empty on the inside, as allegedly it was a surprise court hearing. As Gunna admitted that YSL is a street team, he continued saying yes ma'am to several questions involving YSL, and in the end, it makes Young Thug look extremely guilty. The next day after Gunna started snitching in the courtroom, Young Thug had his own court hearing, almost as if the prosecutors were just trying to mess with Young Thug. As during this court hearing, Young Thug was told the news of Gunna pleading guilty to several charges, as well as revealing that YSL is a street team committing many street activities. Looking at these photos here, Young Thug looks very worried when he's told the news. Sadly, I can't share the video clip, but when Judge reveals Gunna gave up information, Young Thug is seen putting his head back into his chair, leaning and sort of sinking into the chair he's sitting in, showing a lot of sad emotions as well, which is never good to see. Once his court hearing was over, Young Thug was seen standing out of his chair, staring directly into a camera and giving a smirk before going back to a normal face. Almost kind of like a sarcastic smile. After Young Thug's reaction to Gunna Snitching was posted all over social media, YSL fans were quick to turn against Gunna, and with Gunna's reputation on the line, him and his team were quick to make a statement and break the silence on the snitching rumors. As Gunna released this statement on social media, while I have always agreed to be truthful, I want to make it perfectly clear that I have not made any statements, have not been interviewed, have not cooperated, and have not agreed to testify or be a witness for or against any party in the case. And I have absolutely no intention on being involved in the trial process in any way. But while Gunna's statement makes the video of him saying yes ma'am 10 times, admitting YSL is a street team, makes everything in this case very confusing. But here's where the top snitch Tekashi 69 steps in, as Tekashi 69 posted on his Instagram, and I quote, "Just be quiet and listen. I know y'all don't want to accept it. Your man is going for his life inside of the courtroom on a RICO charge. The judge said, you are aware YSL is a street team, correct?" As Gunna replied, "Yes ma'am." Judge then asked, "Only you and Jeffrey are in the car. The police find firearms and narcotics. These did not belong to you, correct?" Gunna replies, "Yes ma'am. Now go ahead and make your million excuses. I stand on whatever I do or did. That's why I'm still walking this earth and nothing has ever happened to me. I am him. Real guys getting messed with can't be me." So with everybody snitching against Young Thug, sources claim in the courtroom that Young Thug serving a life sentence in prison is almost very likely as more snitches continue coming forward. Snitching in the YSL case has been going down since day one, where this happened the next day after Young Thug was arrested.
He's the one directing traffic. He is the one they're all afraid of. He's the one that's King Slime. He is the most dangerous of the 28, Judge. And I implore you not to grant him a bond. He is dangerous. If he gets a burner, Judge, and the court may know this, a lot of the communications that Mr. Williams is on FaceTime, because it's not traceable, it's not trackable. Judge, I will also say that we have taken proffers from fellow from Mr. Williams. Some are on this indictment, some are not. They have stated uniformly that Mr. Williams is dangerous. They are afraid of him, that if they cross him, he will them and their family. And they were very clear about that.
Concerns that this court has is danger to persons and to intimidate other witnesses and obstruct the administration of justice. So and for those reasons in the aggregate, I'm going to deny bond at this time.
When watching that video clip, it's clear since day one, YSL members have been snitching on Young Thug. The first snitch in the YSL case is known as Lil Woody, as a YSL member named Jaden Myrick was forced to admit on the stand in a federal courtroom that he is a YSL member and was caught intimidating the snitches in the case, otherwise known as Lil Woody. The feds ended up revealing hard-hitting evidence proving that Jaden Myrick was going after people snitching against rapper Young Thug in exchange for payment, as Lil Woody was demanding safety for him and his family after he started snitching on Young Thug. The most concerning part of the entire YSL court case is everyone is going after Young Thug. Every single YSL snitch turning their backs on him, they're all giving up evidence against him, and the prosecutors, they only want Young Thug too, which is why they gave Gunna a plea deal and not Young Thug. This was made very clear when Young Thug asked his manager to send a tweet for him via the jail phone. Over the jail phone, Young Thug asked his manager to post this tweet, and I quote, "I'm talking with my roommate, and we're wondering if you could swim 100 miles from the middle of the ocean ocean back to shore at Michael Phelps. Now, what seems like a very innocent tweet sent out by his manager turned very ugly in the courtroom, as here's his lawyers defending him in the courtroom about this tweet.
Williams is in a jail outside of Fulton County. There are 0 cell phones in that jail.
That last tweet that was sent out to Michael Phelps is recorded. It's been investigated by the sheriff of that county, and it was a conversation that's recorded between Mr. Williams and a member of his close friendships, that he asked the other person who has control of his Twitter account. That is not a reason to...
Well, this is part of the conversation, Mr. Steele, and you and others are going to need to have with your clients, because this is part of the state's concern. I mean...
That was an innocent... That's nothing bad. Asking somebody to tweet to Michael Phelps, can you swim 100 miles in the ocean? That has nothing to do with intimidation. So I'd ask you,
well, if I can communicate through a family member or somebody else, then I can communicate something else.
Everything okay over there?
Sorry.
Yep. Okay, your family was concerned that something was going on. You're fine, right?
Yes, I'm great.
Okay, cool.
The prosecutors were making an argument that Young Thug should not be allowed to ask his manager to release tweets for him, as they're alleging that Young Thug uses this as a way to speak with YSL members on the outside to do secretive tasks for him as well as commit crimes. Let me know what you think about that down below, and if you want to stay up to date in the YSL RICO case, leave a like on the video. It's been District Trending, and I'm out. Peace.